Hello, everybody. I would like you to thank you guys for joining us on the MICI CannaCast. I am Isaiah, the development director here today, and we are back after our 2-week hiatus and coming back for Memorial Day. We got some pretty special guests here that I'm truly honored to sit down with. We have Rob Sims and Calvin Johnson from Primitiv. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Doing good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, and we're just talking that you ran into some traffic on the way here. You know, us having the similar problems, taking 96 back can really get you.
Construction season.
Yeah.
It's either winter or construction season.
And Michigan is year round. That's definitely what it feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah, appreciate you guys coming in after a day on the road. And I just got to get the nervous jitters out the way because, you know, the 8-year-old in me that watched the Lions is just smiling right now. But also, you know, you guys were a different kind of cape stepping into the cannabis industry and, you know, kind of getting into it. I've heard you guys speak many times. And for the people that don't know, or people that just think, you know, just names in cannabis, how'd you guys really get into this industry?
You know, it started in real estate. I feel like, you know, I think that was something that was tangible coming out of the league, especially for myself. You know, wanted to be put on the business hat and step into some things, and that was just something I could touch. You know, I could see something that was easily monitorable to me. So I think that cannabis came into the picture when, you know, we were able to, you know, find some real estate properties in quote unquote green zones, you know, and then the point came where, okay, we can lease this, be the landlord, you know, make a little passive income, or, you know, we could take this on, you know, and build a team and, you know, try to build a great company. So we chose the latter.
Right. And was real estate something that you were interested in Seattle, or was that something that came on when you came into Detroit, like that opportunity arose?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was definitely when I came to Detroit. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, to be honest. I thought I would be a car salesman. I thought, you know, my uncle was a car salesman, had dealerships. And I thought that was my path, especially when I got traded here from Seattle to Detroit with the Fords being the owners. I thought, oh, man, this is match made in heaven.
Right.
But you know, when they pay you a certain dollar amount to block, you better block, you know, and
right.
talk about what you want to do. So, you know, from there, I just, you know, the landscape of Michigan in general, where Detroit was from a real estate standpoint. And, you know, I had some opportunities with Remax of Southeastern Michigan. I'm part of the group that's a franchisor there, and we had a title company and a mortgage company. So I got like a real crash course in business and acquiring business and selling business. And, you know, after that, I just wanted to expand that and wanted to bring other guys into the fold.
Gotcha.
With me.
I was reading an article and I saw something about Jason Strayhorn. Was he like the gap of real estate? Like, what role did he play?
Yeah, I mean, initially, you know, Jason really helped us, you know, initially with real estate in general. I was trying to take my residential real estate to the next level, and he was somebody that was moving in that direction. And, you know, I learned a lot.
Gotcha. Yeah, that seems like, you know, perfect timing, hopping in real estate. And then, you know, in the cannabis industry, like around like 2008, and the medical industry, you know, becoming online was just good timing. And were there any obstacles that faced you in the cannabis industry after real estate?
Well, I mean, when you talk about 2008, you know, we're still playing ball in the middle of our careers at the time. So cannabis really wasn't, I mean, it was used, but we weren't really to the point where we're trying to find, you know, get down to the science of it, find different applications for it. I think that, you know, while we were playing, you know, it's just really trying to find a medicinal benefit, you know, to keep us going, to help us recover, and whatever means it was to help build that, you know, that quality of life that we're looking for and trying to help everybody else achieve.
Yeah, I read something. Nate Burleson had referred to you as like a nerd on the field. At what point did, you know, that passion for learning about cannabis on like a chemistry level come into effect for you?
Yeah, just like on the field, you know, you really want to get down to being the best. If you really want to be that, you have to get down to the science of being, you know, playing that position. What are the little intricate details that set you apart? And same thing in the cannabis industry. You know, what are the little details that set you apart? Let's get down to the science of this and find new applications for this, being innovative here in this industry. So that's why we're here.
Yeah, for sure. And and becoming online, getting the grow and the dispensary. Which one came on first for you?
Cultivation.
The cultivation.
Mhm.
Were there any obstacles with that that arose that you didn't see or forecasted? Because you can consult, and then there's always that monkey wrench that comes in.
There's
I
always
mean,
a monkey wrench. Go ahead.
Monkey wrench and obstacles. I mean, we needed a whole nother podcast. We need a couple other
Right.
hours for that. I mean, I think the one thing that we've encountered a little bit of everything in this business, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it's been tough, as Black men moving forward, but also being athletes and being very visible and always having that target on your back, right? Has been something that we've had to overcome. And you would think with our platform, it would have been easy to get into this space.
Mhm.
But we had every obstacle that everybody else has getting into a startup industry times our visibility. So it was definitely a struggle. We've overcome a lot. But that's why partnering with Calvin and partnering with other athletes like that I thought was so important, because we know how to navigate through trials and tribulations, and we know how to handle success as well,
Mhm.
when you actually make it. So
Yeah.
You hit it right on the head there with the just working with other athletes, because when you're working with not non-athletes, you could be viewed differently. You
Right.
viewed through a different lens. You're not viewed as a businessman. You viewed as a maybe a bank account, or maybe
Mhm.
just an athlete, or just the face of a company. Whereas it's different here. We're the actual executives of the company.
Right.
So that's it's a challenge in itself. Like Rob said, we see haymakers from every which way.
Mhm.
But we're ducking and dodging and moving forward.
Yeah, and it was cool because I had the opportunity to meet Ben Wallace, another athlete, greatly appreciated to the city of Detroit. And we were talking about basically, that what you just said about how you can be viewed differently, but, you have your bodies operating at such like a high production rate, and, that wear and tear is wearing on your body. And, we need to treat our bodies with priority and everything, um, and basically that this plant-based medicine is super important to us. What are basically when you see players like Terrell Owens that tries to prove they can still operate at a high uh, performance level at his age, like what do you say to like fans who bring that to you?
When they ask me, I guess, what do you mean exactly? Like when they bring to me, do I still want to play, or?
In the sense of basically taking care of your body and how important that is,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
because I do know your history,
Mhm.
and
I'm with you.
those years kind of wear on you, but a player like T.O. who can still
Mhm.
to prove and operate at that level, is there
Yeah.
ways to medicate and still
Mhm.
reach that level,
For sure.
or do you have
Mhm.
to know where you at with your body at some point and kind of turn it down?
I mean, I would honestly just say, to keep your body at a, even keel homeostasis kind of is
Mhm.
really just what you put into your body.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to get out of it. And I'm a firm believer in the things that we put into our body, the things of the earth can go into my body. Synthetic means, man-made means that they don't go into my body really. I'm not perfect, but a lot of those things have toxins in them, so things of the earth, things that God put here, those are things that go into my body.
Mhm.
Cannabis is one of those things. Plant medicine in general, that's one of those things. That's what people use to heal themselves since the beginning of time. Hence why we call ourselves primitive.
Right. Exactly. And thank you for that. Now, like shifting back to, the operation, and it's on my list to get down to Niles and check out your dispensary. What kind of feedback have you gotten since you guys have opened?
I think we've gotten some really good feedback. I think the one thing that we have to do as with our platform is that we got to make sure we hit it out the park every time. So
Mhm.
right. So taking the time to build our team, we have to take extra care with that. How our customer service is, the products that we bring to market, everything like that. Right. It has to be, we got to go through with a fine tooth comb, because we got to hit. So I think what people have seen for us is a level of professionalism, and I think that they've seen a customer service that is at a high level and what we do. I mean, you walk into the dispensary and everything on the wall and everything, that you see there is things that we've designed, that we've had a hand in designing. The people that are there, we have a hand in picking them. And it's really authentic, and it's an authentic us of
Mhm.
what we would see what a dispensary would look like for us. So I think it's really cool for people to come in there and see it, get a feel for our people, or a feel for our team.
Mhm.
And we do treat those folks like we're all on a team together. Those aren't employees to us.
Nice. I like how you related that, because that was kind of my next question. Basically components from the field and the locker room and that team culture bringing over to the cultivation and the dispensary is super important. And say, I was actually just checking your website and I saw the merch section. And how did you guys come up with the merch and kind of like tailoring it basically to people's lifestyles, also to kind of like that athlete with the helmets and the primitive golf bags that I might have to get my hands on at some point?
That's us. That's our
us.
lifestyle. That's a quality of life. That's I mean, where we came from. I mean, when you talk sports, we want to be able to provide solutions for those that are on, whether you are on a professional field or
Mhm.
you're just hitting the gym, riding your bike. Any and all athletes. We just want to be able to provide solutions for all those. Everybody deals with pain. Everybody deals with mental cognitive issues. Just being able to be in a place to provide solutions for the masses that deal with all these issues. That's where we got to be.
Yeah, and I think for the merch especially, and you see the helmets and all that stuff. I was just always a firm. I'm always like, use what you got, right?
Mhm.
I was memorabilia. So our company is Primitiv Apparel and Memorabilia, right? Because we believe that what we're doing here, we're in a different arena where we can have the same impact as we did on the field. So like the helmets, we just gave our first helmet away to Nate Burleson, actually, who was in town a little while ago. And that's the first of 81 that's going out, right? So limited drops, new things, new shirts and hats and stuff that we'll continue to bring to market and as we gain traction. But I think for us, especially in this industry, it was really important that we had our hand in a little bit of everything, because we
Mhm.
understood that things would shift, like they're
Right.
shifting now, and wanted to be able to lean into those things as we needed to lean into them.
Gotcha. So just to look out for more exclusive drops, limited. Sounds like you're gonna have more of just 81 copies.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
oh yeah.
There'll be limited drops where we might have 81 or 67. And,
Okay.
But for the masses, we want to be able to provide jerseys for everybody. Everybody might want the jersey, but they might not get the exclusive,
Mhm.
stitched on, letters and the numbers. They're very nice.
Right. Now, on the more scientific side of Primitive, you guys have been in the headlines about partnering with the prestigious University of Harvard. Can you guys tell us about how that partnership and came on?
Yeah, so we got approached by a company called Nestry that does neural plasticity training, which is like, it's basically training for your brain. And, he really just came to us as football players to invest in this company, because he believes he has, some of the building blocks to being able to treat CTE. And then we kind of got into what we were trying to do. What the ultimate goal for us is really to create supplements to be able to help, things like CTE and chronic pain and things like that. So he had a relationship with Harvard, and Harvard was entering into the International Phytomedicine Institute. And we saw as something that long term would be something that would be beneficial to Primitive and beneficial to what we were trying to bring to market. And like I said before, it was about us being in a lot of different buckets and a lot of
Mhm.
different places, so we'd be able to navigate when things change, rules change, whatever. And now we're getting to the point where we're starting to develop those innovative products that we always wanted to bring to market. And now we're ready to move forward with Harvard and our research and everything we're doing there. So
Gotcha. And that's just amazing work. And it sounds like you guys are taking the initiative to answer the hard questions and really dissolve the stigma. And for you guys that, keep that high level of performance and professionalism, like personally, at what point do the hard questions get easy for you guys?
At what point do the hard questions get easy? I mean, there's always a new question. There's always a new opportunity.
So that
to
could have
get
been a hard
better.
question.
Yeah.
that was a hard one.
That was a hard question. I mean, the opportunities are endless. Opportunities to get better. Opportunities for growth where we might fall behind. To get better. Yeah, the opportunities will be, they're great. When it comes to maybe collaboration opportunities in new states, but the opportunities they can be great as well when you have something that holds you back.
Mhm.
There's just great opportunity for growth for us.
Gotcha. Now, can you tell us about this new technology, HPNet?
It's it's basically nanotechnology in
Okay.
short, and just basically why is it so effective? Because it creates more bioavailability in turn. Why is that? Because the particle size of the cannabinoids is so small, it's able to bypass the intestinal tract and not get absorbed there and go straight into the bloodstream, which in turn is just targeted and allows it to go and do the work that it needs to do within the body.
Okay, so basically you can smoke this technology.
This is more of a consumable technology. This
Okay.
is not necessarily a smokable technology. It's water soluble, so
Okay.
you can mix it in your drink. You could put it in edibles. You could put it in foods. So anything on the processing side, for the most part, there's a lot of opportunity here, and this was really untapped.
Yeah, that was. I think I had that question at the M Live event, but my hands were too sweaty to even get it out. But so yeah, so this will be on the processing side. So like lotion, rubs,
Topical stuff for sure.
Awesome, and I definitely look forward to that. And Rob, from your point of view, what does increasing access to medical plants for global health look like, considering 80% of the world population uses a medical plant?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, especially where we're getting in, we want to know as much about the plant as possible, right? So, we had mentioned earlier we had went to Jamaica, with the folks from Harvard, and really had a chance to look at local government from Jamaica, but also like what they're doing for research for plant medicines. And in other parts of the world, like those people have had to depend on plant medicines to survive. They don't have the same medicine that we have over here, same healthcare system that we have over here. So they've had to depend on grandma going out in the backyard and grabbing that whatever and rubbing it on you and hoping it works.
Use what you got.
Use what you got. And they've been able to research that because it's not Schedule 1 over there. So when we were able to go over there and see some of those things that they were using some plant medicines on, and Primitiv became a lot different. I started thinking about Primitiv a lot different because it went from just the cannabis to plant medicines in general, right? And how do we navigate and get to that point? So I think seeing that and seeing where healthcare is here in America, where it's going, and it's getting more expensive, and and then you have drugs that are becoming very addictive and really destroying families and things like that. Like the writings on the wall that just like organic foods came about, this will be next. Is just more and more plant medicines. And like I said, the opportunities and the platform we've had to see at Harvard and what they're working on it's remarkable what's coming down the pipe. So we just want to be in the conversation and be a part of it, and continue to elevate the conversation.
Gotcha. And I love getting the idea of the whole Primitiv Performance. Is that just like a mission statement, or is that like a slogan?
Primitiv Performance.
Yeah,
that's just a new product line.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a new product line that will have all of the nano infused properties to it. So from the topicals, capsules, drink mixes, a rehydration solution with cannabinoids in it. And I mean, the list goes on. I mean, this is really something that's new for us that we're just, like I said, we're just scratching the surface here. So I look forward to the innovation that's to come.
So like hypothetically, I had inflammation, in my ankle. This would, like you said, bypass the intestinal process and activate quicker.
100%. And to that point, you said the ankle swelling or whatever, that's when I really want to really get to the science of cannabis. Is like, when I had ankle swelling, I was doing the show out in Cali, and my ankle was swelling up. I was going to have to quit the show because I couldn't move like I need to do. And my buddy, I went to college with, he brought me a topical. I used it, and I was like, whoa, next couple of days or the following week, my swelling was down. It stayed down because I was using the product, and I was like, okay, there's something here. Like more than at the time when we were smoking and having fun, or even when we're smoking and having fun, we're still trying to find the medicinal benefits to alter our mood or being in somehow or some way. So, just being able to find ways to, like I said, at the end of the day, it's just quality of life.
Right.
Quality of life.
Exactly. And, like you said, for like the enjoyment, smoking, having fun, the social aspect, but, you definitely notice you're just generally happier when you can just wake up happy, and that's not something everybody do, because there's something that prevents them from that. And I saw the show Dancing with the Stars. You was definitely moving. I could not tell and say. Was there any moments you was like, all right, partner, I might have to find another retired future Hall of Famer because I don't know about all this.
That's what I'm saying. That third weekend when the ankles just constantly swollen, and I couldn't do all those quick movements, getting in and out of these positions that she had me in, and the topical is what kept that swelling down, and so that's why I'm a true believer in the medicine.
Gotcha. And when for the nanotechnology, and the innovation that's going on in every industry, cannabis and the NFL, do you think this sets you up for like a partnership potentially with the research in medicine in the NFL?
100%. Go ahead, Rob.
No, I mean, for sure. I mean, that's part of the plan. I think, the NFL being a $10 billion business, I've always had in mind, or we've always had in mind to build a polished brand and build products that we could take back to the NFL and other professional sports. That's why Primitiv Performance is the first thing we're dropping with, and not just an edible or whatever, right? Because our focus is more on delivering recovery to athletes and people that want to be athletes or trained to be athletes, right? Weekend warriors and folks like that. So that is our authentic selves, right? We came up athletes. We know what it takes to go through a 16-game season, 17-game season, and the preseason, and what it takes. And we want to build products that can help that, and folks that are dealing with it, not going through a 16-game season, but maybe just be going, through whatever, through some soreness or whatever it is. But we just want to be able to provide that. We don't see anybody else really doing that, right? Everybody's really having a let's get high conversation, which is nothing wrong with that to me, but I just think there's more for us to chase.
Right.
And to that point, it won't just be THC products. There'll be CBD products too, so that we can, show this and get it to the masses, e-commerce and whatever ways besides just the dispensaries here in Michigan. So being able to provide it for the masses, that's truly what it's about in helping people.
Yeah, that accessibility goes a long way. And on the NFL, I read about their collective bargaining agreement in 2001, and them not testing for marijuana. It only being a year, have you seen any like quality of life changes within these athletes in the NFL, or not yet?
I mean, what I see is, I don't see the continued guy getting in trouble for cannabis, right? To be honest, NFL has its own cannabis culture. It's had it for generations, right? It just didn't start with us.
Right.
But I think there's been people who have suffered for using that and have lost their careers because of that. And it's just good to see we're not hearing that story as much anymore. And hopefully, eventually new CBA or whatever the collective bargaining agreement is down the pipe, that they can get to a place where some of these products that we're developing or other people are developing can be used.
Yeah, and definitely like changing the narrative is a great aspect. Is that like just the start, or is it something super important in the grander scheme of things?
It's a never-ending thing, changing the stigma, behind cannabis. It's just, we're sitting here talking just the stigma behind, I have my mom, for example, we're from the South, the Bible Belt, and, cannabis, when I told her I was in this industry, she dang near disowned me because she knows what it does to people, to colored people down in the South and really just anywhere, and how we've been, disproportionately subjected to criminal, or just being just in trouble in small words.
Right.
I think that, from her now even taking topicals, and asking me for them, my uncles, who are in the church, they ask me for these things because it's improving their quality of life. It's gone beyond religion. It's really what's helping them live a better life.
True. And, both of your parents being educators, is that something like, being in the industry of educating people, educating an educator, like what did that look like on cannabis? Is that hard?
Yeah, that's tough because mama knows. Mama knows everything, right? So, I think it was, I think at least for me, I went to my mom and said, look, I'm always going to do something I'm passionate about. I think she understands that about me. If it's something that I'm chasing or I want to go, she just knows me by now that, okay, I back you, and I'm with you. But it's still like even in Niles, right? We see a lot of older people coming in there to get relief,
Mhm.
And a lot of those folks are white, and that's great. I want to see that, but I would like to see Black folks as well, older Black folks as well, use it for relief.
Right.
Right. And, they have the same struggles, but like I said, the stigma has them so
Mhm.
bottled up
Mhm.
that they can't get past that.
Yep.
So, like, that's why the big part of our VMC, our vision, mission, and core values, is change the stigma. That's line one, is that we have to change people's thought and perception around it and use our platform to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. And I say I was very gracious enough to have cannabis in the family. So like,
Mhm.
seeing it in other families, I'm like, man, they really so just uptight about something that is benefiting everybody that really use it. I think if y'all just get past the smell, find other alternatives, there's a lot more. And now, I see a lot of young professionals trying to introduce their parents to concentrates without seeming like they need to go to AA or something like that. It's a whole thing. And
I think a big part of that stigma is like the smell. Like you say, if you can, somebody could consume in a way that is discreet,
Mhm.
I'm sure like the numbers would increase dramatically.
Right.
It's just the stigma along with that, and the look, the smell, what it does to people.
Mhm.
All that over years and years of time. It's hard to change those stigmas since if that's the mindset you've had since you were, your whole life.
Whole life. And my dad is a testament to that. He's a capitalist, but he does not like marijuana in his house, and say he loves the thought of the business plan. He's all about it, but take it outside. And just got to respect him on that, and I get it. But going back to the change in the narrative in the NFL, and seeing receivers like DeAndre Hopkins get suspended 6 games for performance enhancement drugs. Do you think at some point the NFL will redefine what they consider an enhancement drug?
Well, when it comes to cannabis, I don't know how cannabis is a performance enhancing drug. I'm now, as far as DeAndre Hopkins, I don't know if that was cannabis related or not. It probably wasn't. Would have been performance enhancing, but I don't see how. Where the NFL or other sports in general, wasn't the young lady's name Sha'Carri Richardson?
Yeah, Sha'Carri.
Like you smoke cannabis, if anything, it's going to take away from your wind at least.
Right.
You're trying to run down that track. If anything, it's detrimental. So it just blows my mind. But I think it's just put that way, just like the stigma's put that way for us to. There's a lot of different things. I don't want to go into conspiracy theory, but it's a lot of different things that a lot of different reasons as to why I believe cannabis is Schedule 1. A big part of it is money.
Yeah.
And just imagine how this is going to affect the farming industry.
Mm-hmm.
It might not, because they're probably going to get on board, when everything goes Schedule 1.
Well, I was having a great conversation of, talking about, people's right to grow cannabis as, people's right to farm. I think is the same thing. So I think it's funny that you said that. But, can you tell us a little bit as to, like I said, journey the licensure, and then why you decided to join the Michigan Cannabis Industry Association?
Yeah, I think the big thing about I'll start with the Michigan Cannabis Industry Association, and it's just really it bodes well to those people that are of Michigan, small business owners that are really trying to have a place here in Michigan, and not necessarily keep all the people from outside the state out, but at least provide a hospitable place for people in the industry that are from Michigan or at least live and make a business here in Michigan. Just make it a place for where we can navigate, with regulation, navigate with each other, and just bring bring a fellowship, bring a place where the cannabis owners can come in fellowship and really not really just break down more of the stigma of cannabis, but grow together, collab. And that's the key for us small business owners in this industry to sustainability and the growth is the collaboration.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had our chance with fame and fortune, right? And I'm just a big underdog, supporter. But don't know what that was, but I think I'm just a big underdog supporter in general, right? And I want everybody to have a fair shake or at least an opportunity if they can get one. And obviously in the industry, right, you're going to have big business that comes into this industry, and it makes it difficult for smaller people to do so. And I would call us a small company with a big voice. And I think it's just important that we use that voice to help folks give it a hump, just like we have. But it's a long road, and I think the MICIA, that's what kind of drew me to them, is that here their focus is making sure everybody's got a fair shake.
I like how you said, I make a small company with a big voice, because it's really about, how you use it. And, I hear stories that you getting into real estate while, 08 in the middle of your career. And a lot of basically talented athletes get criticized for using their voice. Was there any obstacle for you guys to be considered more than just an athlete, or was it always like that aura of like entrepreneurial spirits that carried with you? Because I remember as a young kid, we all had our feelings about you retiring, but we knew that you was a smart individual and that you was going to fall back on your degree from Georgia Tech.
I think a big part of that is, where guys are when they come into the league and how they view, their NFL experience. If you view it as the end all be all or just a platform to what's next, that's how you got to view it. A lot of guys. And I was fortunate to be around a lot of guys in my locker room that had business aspirations, that were doing things other than football while we were playing football. So it kind of rubbed off on me as well, to start thinking about those things. So it's not just, all on me. I've had a lot of great people around me with, Rob being one of them, a lot of great teammates. So that aspirations to get we turn and think about what's next. So football wasn't always the last thing. Even coming in, I've had great coaches that tell me that it's going to be over just like that. If you come in here and you work and you do it and you stay in the moment and live day by day, it's going to be over just like that. So whether you play, 2, 3, 10, 20 years, it's going to be just like that. And you got to have something else to fall back on. Obviously we got faith, we got our family. But obviously we got to have something to keep us in that mold, because we're so used to having structure and on the move and doing something for all of our lives and playing ball. I look forward to the time where I got done and I was like, I'm going to go sit down and do nothing and chill out and relax. That shit lasted about 2 weeks. And the body's like, man, we got to get back to doing something. Like, what's next?
Yeah. And I like that story, because there's those jokes about Tom Brady, how he retired and he spent some time with his family. He goes, I gotta get back to work.
Yeah.
So
gotta have purpose.
Do you guys have success finding that balance, with like staying busy, productive, and having that family time too?
Yeah, I think we're more busy than ever before. You know what I mean? I mean we're several meetings every day. And I got 3 young kids at home, so it is busy. Everything that you would expect for a business owner in his late 30s, peaking in the 40. That's the thing about us, right? It's we're just not, we're not the wizard behind the curtain, right? We're in the trenches every single day with the team,
right?
One way or another. So, it is hard to find a balance, but I wouldn't trade this for anything because of the purpose that I've been able to find in doing this. And now I see like, oh, okay, well, we just getting started, right? We talked, Cal just talked about NFL being a stepping stone. Now I'm looking at this being another stepping stone, right? So it's just continuing to put the pieces together and every day just moving the ball a little bit farther down the field.
Yeah.
Nice. Are there any plans on expanding Primitiv in the state of Michigan, or is that,
Yeah, we want more retail, we want more cultivation, we want to grow. But just be trying to be strategic and smart about it. Working with our advisors, the people that we put in place on our team to help us make these decisions. And as long as we filter it through those processes, we'll come out with the best decision and the best direction for us to go.
Cool. Is there any shout outs you want to make to anybody on the Primitiv team and the cultivation dispensary?
Of course. All the Primitiv team, man. Every single body that's involved, from our generals, Michael Sexton, Ryan Horn, who head up both of our cultivation and our retail. Got to give a big shout out to them and their leadership. Jared Bungard, our other partner, and our operations director, got to give it a shout out to him. But literally everybody in the team, we've been able to keep a lot of the people over the years, and even through all the bumps and the bruises, man, people have been able to see the vision, and we just keep trying to roll it out to them and make good on it, make good on our promises. And so far so good. We're not genies, but we're doing everything we can to make sure that if you work for Primitiv, that you have that same purpose that we have every day.
I love those guys. You
Mm-hmm.
know, all the jobs they've done, you know, we've done them. You know, we've been there and done that. You know, so we understand what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we can have empathize with them, and everything that they're doing. So, like I said, we tell them every chance we get that we appreciate them, love those guys for what they do, because they are the engine that it keeps us running.
Awesome. You know, I want to say thank you guys for coming in and telling your story and everything about Primitiv, what you guys got going on, the new nanotechnology. And, you know, the summer annual is a great place to invite your employees to come up and celebrate with us on August 8th, 11th, and the 12th. That really concludes our podcast. Our ancillary shout out is Kaya Push.
Introducing your dispensary's new best bud, Kaya Push, the integrated employee management and payroll solution for cannabis dispensaries. Kaya Push allows store owners to manage their HR, time tracking, scheduling, and payroll all from one simple platform, all while integrating with leading dispensary point-of-sale systems. The Kaya Push solution is an easy, all-in-one solution to optimize your dispensary's operations. The Kaya Push platform is also unique in that dispensary owners can toggle between different locations, track multiple location schedules, sales, and more, all within the same platform. Kaya Push gives you the tools to streamline your cannabis retail store operations and save money with business insights like never before.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and join us next week for Evo Farms coming on next week, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. Have a good one.